Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Small Ball Podcast, brought to you by Super Saver Liquor and Wine. Go see my guy Mike and his crew at Super Saver. They'll take care of you. I promise they'll get you a good deal on anything you need. We got tournaments coming up. If you need a drink after a tournament, go get it from Mike at Super Saver. I guarantee you he'll take care of you. I'm Charlie Rogers, here with Chancy Rogers, owner, operator of Bull Baseball Club. We got a great show in store for you tonight with 3 local high school players who are all getting ready to start their season up. We've been focused on preseason this whole time. They're getting ready to start their season. But first, Chancy, how's it going, man? How's the day been?
What's up, Charlie? Yeah, man, just got off baseball field. Had some lessons up here in Starkville. Nolan and one of his little 5-year-old buddies came. We done a little late night, just kind of weird 5-year-old practice session because both of them are pretty advanced, and so we're like doing cuts home and stuff. Yeah, but Nolan got to do club training, so he wanted to show him that he knew what he was doing, I guess, so that was pretty cool to see.
I know if he did club training with you, he did cuts. They've done double cuts and all the cuts. So I know if he's done that with you, he's done it. And so I know Nolan is and he's ready to get rolling. And so y'all aren't. So he'll be on a Bulls team next year.
Well, kind of. He'll be on one this year too. He was actually on one that we were trying to salvage together, a 7U. So he's 5, but we played him up last couple of years, and we done a 6U Bulls last year, which was not like an official team. I sponsored a rec team and kind of picked an all-star team and said, "Hey, you want y'all come get a taste of it?" And so we practiced, got together at the facility, and then we actually put them in some 7U tournaments, and they got destroyed, but they got a taste of it, So I'll do the same here. It will kind of be a way to launch and advertise, and we're going to do a 6U rec, and the other dad that came tonight is actually going to be my assistant, so he'll help me out, and we'll just put together, between the rec teams, we'll see who kind of is very, very excited about baseball and like, hey, there's more than just rec ball. We this is what it looks like. You want to come practice, so we'll do that. But officially, not this year, but the next.
Okay. So did you have lessons today too?
I did. I had a couple lessons. Yes.
Every day. Yeah, you do lessons every day. So
every day now. It was a little slow because it's outside here. We don't have a facility yet. It's a little slow when it's a little cold. But now the sunshine is out. Every day, 3:34. I've got a few guys. I actually have a full infield class, and they're all 7 and 8-year-olds that come every Monday or Tuesday. We just kind of put it together. So we got them. That fills up an hour, and then around 7 to 8 kids, so it's growing, word's getting out there, and we're having fun with it.
I know you and I have talked about this, but I've never asked you on the record. But this time of year, I would assume lessons pick up. I know I would assume after the season's over and during football and all that they kind of die off. But I would imagine this time of year lessons pick up. Is that true? And if so, why do you?
Yeah. This definitely, like on the high school end, we get some guys that they're scrimmaging, they're struggling. I get phone calls then, messages then. I got to line something up. Need to fix some stuff. On the youth end, on the young ones, a lot of them are playing rec ball, so they're preparing for that. On the travel ball, older kids in. Same thing. They're scrimmaging. They're doing things. Parents see that they're struggling, and then there'll be another influx once they start playing tournaments, and the struggle comes. So, I always compare. I'm not a doctor. My wife is, but I'm like a doctor when they're sick. They come to me, and I try to tell them like let's get a routine and prevent this where you can fix yourself. You know, that's the ultimate goal where they can start fixing themselves. But of course, you know, I'll stay busy throughout until the summer and until kids start shutting down a little bit.
Okay. So we've got several guests today. We've got 3 local high school players we've been talking about starting preseason and what that looks like at the youth level. We've talked about what it looks like at the college level and the pro level. But tonight we're going to get the opinions of some of these guys. And the first one we've got up is JD Harvey. JD is a seminary player, a catcher and right-handed pitcher. And he's a guy that you've worked with, I assume. And before we get him on here, is there anything bad you want to say about him?
Not yet. JD hasn't had anything I can pick on about. He's super proud of that kid, which, you know, I'll blow him up a little bit when he gets on here. But he knows he's done a lot. He's one of those kids that's done a lot of things right, and it's starting to roll in his direction as far as you know, opportunity to go and play college ball later on. But he's just a 2026. He's a sophomore, and a very mature sophomore. And like I said, he's working his way into having a chance to play college baseball at a high level. So
let's bring him in here.
What's up, Coach?
What's up, JD? JD Harvey, everybody.
What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Man, so JD, I'm going to put some pictures up here in a minute of you, but I just want to talk to you a little bit about, you know, seminary baseball, and tell me a little bit just how the season ended last year and how you felt about going into the off season.
We ran into a pretty good offensive team last year. St. Stanislaus, they went to state and got put out in 3 games there against Amory, but they were a really good team. They had a few big bats for sure. They could swing it. And going to off season, it's just kind of we just need to throw a lot of strikes. Good defense.
So is that what you've worked on in the off season? I mean, is there something specific that you went into the off season you specifically wanted to work on and get better at?
So personally, I would love to be a big arm for us, save some runs especially, but I want to hit for a higher average, mostly just to help out my team, get some more hits, be a better defensive catcher.
Chancy, what are your thoughts on that? Is that pretty? You think that's a pretty good assessment?
Oh yes, sir. You know, me and JD's been doing this a long time. I probably have seen him every preseason since he was 9-10 years old. And when we did, I helped make the decision that he was a catcher. His daddy always tells me. But you know, JD was one of them kids that, you know, he loved baseball, but super smart and you know, body features that worked for him, and you know, hasn't always been the best athlete on the field, but had to work hard, and that part come easy because he loved it. So you know, and then just finding the right direction. So you know, and that's where kind of being smart is. You know, it helps him where, like, all right, I got to get better at this, and he's gonna go work on it. You know, he's got a machine at his house. He'll go and sit and work on receiving or blocking or you know, work on his feet or whatever it may be. And you know, through the years, he just keeps getting better and better, and it's awesome to see. You know, from a 9-year-old little boy, short, kind of chubby, and you know, grown now. You know, I'll let him tell you his dimensions, but he is a grown man now. I promise you that. And so, and he's worked hard on that. He trains. I assume you're still training a little bit with Perry over at Traction.
Yes, sir. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so he sold out to that, and I know they do a lot at school. His Coach Bush over at seminary, that he's a big time weight room guy, and I played with his brother over at Jones, Craig Bush, and you know, big weight room guy. I've known him for years, so you know, JD's got that on his plus side as far as preparing goes. He's going to be in shape and strong for sure.
Sure.
So JD, tell me. You know, Chancy, we said Chancy was the reason you became a catcher. Tell me when that happened. So we've talked a lot about catchers on this show over the last couple of weeks. And obviously we've talked about catchers being important, having to be smart, having to be tough, all those things that go into that. But tell me when that kind of hit you that, hey, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to be pretty good at it.
Yes, sir. So the first lesson I ever had with Coach Chancy was just a hitting lesson. I'm pretty sure I was 8 years old, 8, 9. And the first thing he said was, he's going to be a catcher. And I was like, I mean, I've never put gear on in my life. I'm a third base only really at this point. And one practice that summer with 59, I think, he just put gear on me, started throwing some balls to me with the bigger catchers there. And it just kind of started catching in some pool play games on Saturdays. And it just kind of went from there.
So this is you. I'm going to blow this up a little bit, but this is, does that look familiar to you?
Yes, sir.
That guy look like you? That's you catching. Tell me what's so, we've heard it from Donovan. We've heard it from Chancy. Tell me what is so the most important thing that you think a catcher can have, the most important maybe trait that a catcher needs.
I think a little bit of, I guess, grit, maybe a little dog in him. You just can't be scared. You gotta want to do it. If you don't want to catch,
he's got some dog in it.
So
he's got some dog in him, no doubt, and resilience. You gotta be able to sustain, prepare, and working on receiving, sitting behind there, catching bullpens. A catcher to me, man, they've got to they got to put in more work than anybody. And I'm an infielder, and I'm not one of those like, oh, my position is the hardest. A catcher is, to me, is definitely the hardest position on the field, and he's got that he's going to do whatever it takes. JD don't like to suck. Let me just tell you that, and so he's going to fix whatever's wrong, and so. To me, that's a different kind of toughness, and there's no doubt he's on the field tough too. I mean, when he was, by the time he was 12, and if you watched him block and do the little things right, it was beautiful to see, and I knew special things were going to come regardless how great his body became, and he got an extra dose of body, and here we go.
So this is here's JD. Hitting. And so tell me, as far as we talked about the defensive side, tell me a little bit about the offensive side of your game. Obviously, right-handed batter. Tell me a little bit about, strengths, maybe weaknesses there for you.
So right now I'm trying to keep it simple. Sometimes I get a little big, a little aggressive, and miss some barrels. But right now I'm just trying to keep it a simple gap-to-gap line drive approach. And I'm sure you hear that a lot, but just got to stay smooth, really, because I get big and trying to hit balls really hard, and I miss too many barrels. Miss more barrels than I should. You can ask Coach Chancy about that. Happened about Sunday, I think.
I threw BP to him, and his first round was not great, but they fuss at me because I throw two seam cutters to him a little bit.
In BP?
Yeah, well, I do it on purpose because
that's Chancy's time to shine, man. That's when he shows off those pitching skills.
No, but he adjusts well. So the one reason I'm a pretty good BP thrower, and I learned from a lot of different guys and get tips from a lot of different guys, pro guys and whatnot, where just a flat four seam ball just so you can hit home run derby is not going to make you a better hitter. You're going to play men's softball. So I've kind of learned. I try to find the weaknesses. I've known JD a long time. I know where his weaknesses are. So, and I know his personality, where if he's not going to hit well, the next round he's going to adjust. And that, to me, you got to do that to be a good hitter.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've always kind of thought it was weird. Now I completely get getting some meatballs up there and working on the swing, if you're working on the swing specifically. But I've always kind of thought myself, like, if you're working on an approach and that kind of thing, you kind of need to see different pitches, right? I mean, you agree with that, JD?
Yes, sir, I do. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, like, not all the time, depending on what you're working on. But, yeah, you can't go up there and hit a curveball if you've never seen a curveball, right?
No, sir.
So Chancey, I'm gonna let you ask the hard hitting questions now. What do you want? What information you want to get out of JD here?
Yeah. So y'all went to South State. Just looking at seminary as a team standpoint. And I know you're only a sophomore, but I think are you a 2-year starter? Is that what you
Yes, sir.
consider now?
Yes, sir.
So you're a leader on the team. You're going to hit in the middle of the lineup. What kind of adjustments have y'all made on that end as leaders and kind of becoming a team and being able to make a run at it this year?
So I feel a really good energy around the team this year, a really good atmosphere already. We had our scrimmage last Thursday. We have a somewhat of a jamboree back at seminary tomorrow too. And there's just been a really, really good, energetic feel about it this year. Everybody seems to be excited. Got a good year from our football team too.
Oh yeah.
Momentum, I guess.
Yeah, that helps
Yeah.
for sure. The
Yes, sir.
school, y'all
Mhm.
have a very close knit school, and they
Yes, sir.
rally around each other a good bit. I've coached a lot of kids from seminary, and it's a very hometown school, and it's just a few minutes up the road, but you couldn't tell them that. They feel like they're on an island sometimes, and that could be a good thing with the high school. The town will rally behind y'all, and you'll have great crowds there. So if you're out there and looking for a game, go see JD up there in Covington County and watch some boys play, watch the Bulldogs play. One more from me, and then we're going to get your old buddy on, old former teammate down in the 59 and Bulls days, Cannon Turner. So we're not going to discuss details on recruiting, but you have been doing a lot of stuff. You play with East Coast Baseball.
Yes, sir.
I know them guys well respected organization, and you got to play on a scout team this summer, and just kind of talk about a little bit of the opportunities that brought to you, as far as like going to different showcases at different colleges and whatnot.
Yes, sir. That was pretty cool. That was a really awesome experience, and I'm looking forward to that this summer too. We went to a lot of big old tournaments, and I met some really good ball players. Really good ball players. I had a lot of them on my team too. There's a few people I've met throughout it too. Some coaches, some places. It's a pretty good, pretty awesome experience.
Some really good players on those teams.
Really good players, yes, sir.
Yeah. And so does that drive you to be
Yes,
better?
sir, it does,
do you learn things from them?
Yes, sir, all the time. I mean, those dudes they're top of the line. They were awesome to play with, and watch how talented they just are. I mean, and they all work hard too. There was no bad energy anywhere. There were good players everywhere out there.
Yeah, I would think that kind of going to those things and being a sponge really and trying to kind of learn as much as you can, as much as you want to go there and show off, and you can do that, but learn too. Is that's something that kind of
learning from people that are better than you is big. And that's big. Watching those guys that are better, that's big.
JD, who's the football coach at some seminary now?
Mitch Evans, Coach Mitch.
It was Coach Riles for a long time, right?
I believe so.
It was Brian Riles. I couldn't remember if he would have retired before you got up there or not, but he was my offensive line coach when I was in high school.
Okay.
And so I was wondering if you knew him. But let's Chancey, you ready to bring Cannon on too?
Yeah, we're gonna bring on Cannon. I'll introduce him while he's in here.
Yeah, Cannon Turner, right?
Yep, Cannon Turner. There. Cannon, what's up? Can you hear us? I don't know if we can hear him. Say something, buddy. Make sure you got ear pods in. No, I can't hear you. So, go out. You can hear me though. Yeah, take your ear pods out and go out, and then come back in.
JD, you made it look easy, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You made it look easy
too, Coach. Don't forget.
So Cannon won a state championship last year. So his pictures are a little different. So JD, don't get too jealous.
No, I'm not.
He's got the bragging rights.
Yeah.
All right, can y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can.
All right, there we go.
What's up, buddy?
Cannon
What's up? How
Turner.
are y'all?
Chancey, go ahead and introduce Cannon.
All right. So Cannon Turner, Purvis High School. He's a junior, 2025. I've known Cannon. He played on the same team with JD. So when we was coming up there in '59 and with the Bulls, and he's now with the Louisiana Knights and with the Purvis Tornadoes, who are defending state champions 4A. They won it last year, and so it's been
looks something like that,
look,
right?
look a little something like that. There's the family. I know several of them watching. Miss Carol said she was going to be at church. She was mad we was doing it on Wednesday. So we know his family well. Like I said, man, just watching these boys grow up is fun, and seeing them have success like that is pretty awesome over there in Purvis.
Look, we got a couple of comments here from YouTube. Stan Geiger says JD done got grown.
Yeah, he hadn't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
And then let's see, we got one that says it's Lionel Amo. He's ready to see Purvis play. So he's ready to see Cannon get after it. We appreciate all you guys watching. But so Cannon and JD, you guys played together at a younger age, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I think it was 10U.
10U, 11U, 12U,
13U, 14U. Don't forget about them years.
Yeah. So tell me about that, both of you. We'll start with JD and then go to Cannon. But tell me what that's like to play together, because I've got an 11-year-old now. I've got an 11U that plays for Chancy, and his friends, when he gets older, about a third of our team goes to one school, third goes to the other school, and then another third goes to a couple of different schools. So they'll end up playing each other too, probably. And they don't know what that's like yet. So tell me kind of what that's like knowing the other guy on the other side so well.
No, it's awesome. I mean, it was some of the funnest things I've ever done was play summer ball back then, and you grow up and get to see him on the bigger stages, and it's pretty fun. It keeps a fun aspect to the game for sure.
You can't help but root for each other too.
No,
so
always.
You want them to do well. You want to win or whatever, but I'm sure you're like me. You're jumping on Max Preps or jumping on Game Changer and seeing how your boys done too.
Yes, sir.
So Cannon, tell us what you think.
I loved having JD behind the plate all them years, and it was fun. And then as we got older, went our separate ways. But then playing each other now, and it's been super fun. And we play each other again this year, so it'll be super fun again.
Yes, sir.
Doing it again.
Now, have one of you pitched to the other?
Yes, sir. I pitched to JD.
Have you?
JD doesn't remember that. I see who won the matchup because JD doesn't remember it. Do. So,
what happened?
JD had forgot because Cannon was back then would spike fastballs, and JD wants to remember that very much. So.
Yeah.
He did.
But no, JD was our catcher one for a long time, and I don't even know who the backup catcher. We had a few. They come and gone, but Cannon put the gear on a few times.
Yeah, he did.
The first runner that ever ran on me. First runner that ever ran on me.
Yeah. I was pitching to him.
Yeah, that was the worst mistake. Like you thought you were going to be awesome after that.
Mm-hmm. Walked the first guy on 4 pitches and Cannon threw him out.
Oh well, there you go. You were just trying to make him look.
No, I did it on purpose. Exactly.
Exactly. So were you pretty excited for Cannon, JD? Were you pretty excited for him when he won that state championship?
Yes, sir. That was awesome. That was an unbelievable season. Everybody watched. I mean, everybody noticed that. That was unbelievable. And I watched first game. It was a pretty cool atmosphere.
Was it?
They were a very good baseball team.
Cannon, who did y'all play in that state championship game or matchup?
West Lauderdale.
West Lauderdale. Okay.
Ooh, yes, sir.
All right. But that was at and we'll talk about this a little bit after JD goes. But that was at Trust Fund Park, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well,
all right, JD, you got any final thoughts, man? Anything going into the new season you want people to know about seminary baseball?
I mean, we're ready. That's all I can say. We're excited. We're ready to go get some action in for sure.
When do y'all get started up? Do you know?
We were supposed to have a jamboree at Jones on Saturday, but the weather kind of moved it, and we'll play a 8-inning game tomorrow in seminary at 5:00.
who
What'd you say?
who you
We got
playing?
Stringer
Yeah.
for it's either 2 4-inning games or 1 8-inning game, just like almost a scrimmage type deal, but it's a real game pretty much.
Do you know if y'all are streaming or run a game changer or anything like that? Where can
I'm sure we'll have a game changer going. I don't know about a streamed video, but we should
y'all
have
got y'all got a Facebook page, I think, a Twitter, because I tagged them on this post. So go there, see where you can check them out, and a lot of schools get to stream these days, and check out JD. He's got a good chance to have a really good season this year.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Appreciate
JD,
it, buddy.
Appreciate you,
Appreciate
man.
you.
Get
See
awesome.
y'all. I'll see you,
Talk to you
Cannon.
later.
I see JD.
All right, Cannon. What's up, brother? You everything going all right for you?
Yes, sir. Everything's going great.
Y'all
Good.
getting ready?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. We're getting ready. We start Friday.
Okay, so we'll start with that. So you guys start up Friday. Is that a regular season game? That's a tournament, a jamboree? What you got?
That'll be a jamboree. It'll be the Lamar County Jamboree. So basically, all the schools from Lamar County come, and we're hosting. So they'll all come to Purvis, play each other.
Awesome. So I want to know, man. The first question I asked JD was to kind of tell me how the season ended for them last year and some things that they wanted to work on going into the off season. We obviously know how your season ended last year. Tell me a little bit about that, playing at Trustmark Park, winning that state championship.
It was very exciting atmosphere. Playing at Trustmark was super fun, and even the South State Championship was very exciting, and it gave a ton of energy, and I had a ton of adrenaline going into both series, and so it was very exciting, and you're on cloud nine after winning the state championship for a long time, and so I slowly have started coming back down, and I think I'm down to earth now.
So I've got a picture of the dog pile up here. That's not you flying in on top, is it?
That is Jacob Parker flying in on top.
Jacob Parker. That's a great picture. So are you at the bottom? Where are you, man? Were you at the bottom?
I'm pretty sure I'm about halfway in the middle, probably in the bottom.
So I've always wanted to know, like, because we never won anything significant. So I've always wanted to know, like, what's it like being on the bottom of that dog pile? Is it scary?
At South State, I was at the bottom, and there was a lot of pressure down there. So I made sure at State I was on the top. So I was like, make sure I'm one of the last ones to the dog pile to make sure I'm on top. So
smart guy. Yeah, smart guy. So we talked about that. That's awesome, winning that state championship. I assume you guys are going to be in a good position to repeat this year. What are some things that you felt like you needed to work on in the off season, and then were you able to accomplish that?
The big thing for me was get stronger in the weight room and go get stronger, gain a lot of weight. I think I weighed probably 175 last season, and now I'm 190, and so had to gain a lot of weight. And then another big thing for me was pitching. I didn't pitch how I wanted to last year, especially contributing to the team. And so I was like, I have to go out and find my groove on the mound this fall. And so I worked with a guy in Covington, Louisiana, Colin Rogers, and we have been pitching. We pitched a lot in the fall, and it's helped me. I've gained some velo, and then also be able to command the strike zone a little bit better. So.
Awesome. So tell me how you gained weight, because when I was in high school, my coach wanted me to gain weight also, and I never could do it. Tell me how you did that.
You just got to eat. Like when you're, for me, it was like when you're just sitting there at the house, eat. You got to gain weight somehow, so just eat, and then get on some protein shakes or something. And but the big thing for me was you got to eat a lot more. So
Yeah, that's kind of what I struggled with. Was I would eat until I couldn't eat anymore, and it's a vicious cycle, and I did not enjoy it at all. So
Until
tell
it
me, you said,
happens.
go ahead.
Until it happens.
Yes, I have no trouble now. Like I have zero trouble putting on weight right now. But
Trust me,
then
I
I
was
couldn't do it.
little skinny, and it was a thing. So my advice is peanut butter sandwiches with everything.
Yep.
With
Yep.
everything.
Breakfast snack,
Like
lunch snack, supper
do
snack.
half folds with everything, including raviolis. Until this day I crave that. It's a weird combo, but like how you do buttered bread, do peanut butter bread with everything.
I don't know about the ravioli thing.
One
That's a
day you'll
fancy
try it
thing.
and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Awesome. So you said also that you wanted to work on pitching. So what aspect of that did you work on?
Commanding strike zone, throwing a lot more strikes. Last year I was falling behind counts to batters and having to dig myself out of a hole almost felt like every single time. And versus good hitters, you can't do that. So good hitters take advantage of that, and they'll put a ton of runs on you in a little time. And so I was like, I have to get in the strike zone, let my defense work behind me, and so I had to learn how to command all my pitches.
So you are pitcher, Chancey, did you say corner infielder?
Yes.
Corner infielder. So primarily first, third, which one?
Third, primarily third.
Yeah,
Primarily
he's a
third
third
base.
baseman that had to play first some, but he's a really good infielder. When he was younger, that's pretty much what he played to. One of our better defenders, and he's one of the. How tall are you now, Kenny?
6'3".
He's 6'3".
Wow.
So during his growing days of around 13 and 14, he struggled. He was tall and skinny, and he really couldn't even pitch then either. But I knew it was coming. Eventually, I kept telling his dad, it's coming. Once he figures out his body, the swing's going to get better. Everything's going to get better, get easier. He was just lanky, man, and it's been pretty cool. I got to see him last year, and golly, the swing started getting more in control, and the power's come. But yeah, he's right. He need to gain some weight. So them doubles turns into home runs. That definitely will help some things. But um, it was cool watching him growing to that figure. And now showing up on the mound, and I'll kind of roll into the next thing I've been thinking about, and which I've talked with him, and he had a really good summer also, and fall, Rex, really good fall, doing showcase stuff with the Knights, and kind of getting down the recruiting trail itself. And you can talk about whatever you want to talk about and say what you want to say, Cannon, but kind of tell us about that as far as on the recruiting side and playing summer ball and fall ball.
Summer ball, it was very fun. That's when I also realized, I'm going to have to pitch a whole lot more because in the summer, my summer coach, they had me as basically a starter, and I don't really start that much, but I do start. But he had me a starter almost the whole summer, and so I had to learn how to, throw strikes in my body and stuff, and figure it out. And I basically found the strike zone and getting guys out by letting the defense work. And then, as a hitter, I was last year I started off slow, very slow as a hitter, and I was very long in my swing, basically. Um, and then I learned how to shorten up a little bit and put the ball in play and work gap to gap, like JD said, and so basically that summer it helped me get ready, especially coming up for this season. This summer, pitching and hitting helped me get ready for this upcoming season. Then in the fall, I turned around and played with the Knights also in the fall in their fall league, and worked on pitching again, and learned how to basically, like I said, throw a lot of strikes, and then I had the swing wise. I felt good in the fall, and I've just been trying to carry it over to the spring. And then recruiting wise, I have kind of already made my decision, and I think I'm gonna go play at Pearl River Community College.
Well, congrats on that.
Yeah, that's not a bad call at all, man. They play pretty good baseball there at Pearl River, right?
Yep. National
Yes,
champions recently.
Yeah, they play pretty well. So the hitting portion of it, you said that you felt like you needed to work on that, and that you felt like you improved. Are there any specific drills? Is there anything specific that you did that you feel like really helped you?
Seeing more velo definitely helped me a lot. I went from, you go hitting in the cages a lot, and you're hitting off the machine, and it's just a regular BP fastball. Crank it up a little bit and see what happens, and you crank it up, and it'll expose you a little bit more, but it's a good exposure, and so you'll learn from that. And so I cranked the machine up a lot and saw a lot more velo, and it really did help me a lot.
Did Chancy ever strike you out throwing BP to you?
Tell the truth.
I don't know if I remember any of that.
You don't remember those?
Like,
hold on. You don't remember when we had to face Meadows and y'all striking out, acting like y'all couldn't handle 75 when y'all 14?
Okay.
And then the next practice, what I do? My old rear end got up there, and I was giving it my best 75. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was blowing it by a few of them, I promise you.
Cannon remembers that just like JD remembered the at bat against Cannon. Yeah. It was, it's all selective memory. It's whatever's convenient. But yeah, we talked about Chancey throwing two seams and stuff in BP, and so I was wondering if he ever struck you out. I know he struck mine out several times, so it's just a thing, I guess.
Well, preparing them for the better pitching. That's the thing. No, Jackson hadn't got the full thing yet. When they get 13 and 14, if I still can do it, I don't know. I've been having some issues with my right shoulder, but we used to, I'd get up there and really try to compete with them. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to this next class.
Some of the worst practices was he'll hit you in the back, and then he'll give you one right down the middle. So
and then fuss at you for not swinging at it.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, it's because they wouldn't get hit by pitches, and so we had a practice like that. We really did. Like, you're gonna get hit by it, and you're not going to first. And then I'm gonna groove you one. You better be ready to hit. Like, that's the mentality I wanted them to have.
So tell me what it was like playing for Chancey, if you can remember any of those days. What was that like?
I thought it was great. Felt like he brought the energy as a coach every single time, and as a player, it's easy to play behind it. I mean, easier to play behind a coach, I guess. That brings the energy every single day, and you can have fun with that, and and enjoy the game of baseball while you can. So,
well, I wanted to know that because my son, this group now, we're getting the older, softer Coach Chancey, but I hear there was a more intense Coach Chancey at one time.
Their group. I don't know. I guess you get softer in age. I would say I was harder on Hunter Estes and Alec Carty and them. But yeah, this group got a little bit of me, and our group now hadn't made it there yet. We hadn't made it to those obstacles. It's still in there. It's circumstantial, and so, but no, Cannon and JD, that group, man, they're a special group to me for sure. It was with me through some ups and downs, and I'm not gonna get too sentimental here, but I love them. Just know that
older and softer, Cannon.
they know it. No, they've seen me shed some tears with them, but they were a special group, and man, watching them now, and in the prime years of high school, and most of them, I mean, most of that team's going to have an opportunity to play college baseball. That's the really, really cool part. That's my bonus at the end of every year is watching these guys, and it don't matter what level, that they're playing at. And I think we talked about that on the other episode, but that's what keeps me coming back every year. Regardless how much people say I do it for the money that I don't make. I love this part of it. I love seeing these boys accomplish their dreams, and just being able to watch it, not actually being a part of it. It don't matter. I don't need any credit or nothing, but just being able to kind of get a front row seat for a little bit, and is really cool to me. So I've really enjoyed it. So we're going to get your rival on here shortly, Cannon, and we're not quite the noise talking podcast, but do go into the 589 rivalry that has, I mean, become to me is trumping Oak Grove and Petal, what that used to be, and now it's pretty much Purvis Summerall. That's the game everybody talks about every year.
So much hinged on it last year too. I mean, that made the big part of it.
So I would have to say the rivalry, Battle of 589 is, if you haven't been to one yet, you need to get to one. A game versus Purvis and Summerall, and the atmosphere, it's a little bit different than a regular high school game. There's a ton of people. I mean, people show up 2 days before the game, and we'll see them. We'll be out there practicing. People will show up and put their chairs out already, and it's just a crazy atmosphere. And as teams, you have to be able to thrive off that, and what the fans give you and stuff.
I went last year to the thing is, so the listeners that don't know, they're in the same district. They're off the same main highway. They're in the same county, Summerall and Purvis, and both highly talented, well coached teams, and it is something to watch. And so the last 2 years, they end up having to play each other, and so in the playoffs. So they're in the same district and battling 1 or 2 in the district, and then got to come back and play each other. So I have a little a memory of that. I was played in Greene County, and back when we were 10 years in a row, either winning district or number 2, Purvis was always up there. Forest County then. Summerall was a 2A. They was non-existent. But it was the same feeling. My senior year, Purvis ended up winning the district, and just by runs. We split our games, but just by runs, and we ended up having to play each other in the South State Championship. And we went 3 games. They beat us. That was my sob story. For a long time, it was hard for me to train kids at Purvis. Now I've got several of the guys that's on the field, that are like my youngins, So it's pretty cool. If you've never seen a rivalry like that, I'd say go out and watch that. That was an electric atmosphere last year.
Did y'all play for South State, Cannon?
Yes, sir. We played for South State District, and then we played also for the Adidas tournament. So the first game was in the Adidas tournament, and then we played each other twice in district play, and Summerall ended up winning district this year by run differential, and then we ended up playing each other the 3 games in South State.
So awesome. That's very familiar, and like I said, a lot at stake in those matchups, and so that just adds to the intensity. So you heard me do it with JD, so I'm going to do it with you also, Ken. And any final thoughts? Tell us what you expect out of the Purvis Tornadoes this year, and what you want people to know about the season.
We're going to be a very, very talented team. Bring a lot of energy. Coach Mounty tells us every day that we're not good enough yet, and we have it signs posted all over the field house and the facility saying that we're not good enough yet. And we have to keep that mindset and keep it going into the year and hopefully have a really good year. And that's really about it.
And y'all are streaming. Don't y'all? You know how you're streaming this year?
I think we're going to go live on Facebook, and I think we're also going to have a game changer.
Okay. All right. Well, go check him out. Cannon Turner, third baseman, right-handed pitcher, 2025 Pearl River commit as of now, and very, very proud of him. One of my former players, and proud of the Purvis Tornadoes, their accomplishments last year, and good luck to them this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And we appreciate you, brother. You did a great job, and we'll have you back on sometime. Good luck, and y'all go repeat, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Chancy, I do want to tell you right here. Put this up here on the screen. Jared Green says he needs that Black Bulls cap.
Yeah. So that's my buddy Brandon. That's his. He's a musician down on the coast, and he has a bull hat. So I'll do a plug right here. If he's listening, if you go watch his music video, it's his latest music video. It's called Float. You will see a bull baseball hat worn by him.
Oh yeah.
In the video, so it's pretty cool. He loves our hats. Real good friend of mine, and we used to do some music stuff back in the day. But yeah, go check him out. Brandon Green, and the song is called Float, and he wears a Bulls hat. So I love it. He's always on my stuff.
We might need to get some Brandon Green gear on here. Get him a Bulls hat.
Hey, let him
promote.
Yes, cross promote. Speaking of, before we get landed on, can you lift up and show your shirt?
Yes, that's how I was going to do that.
Yeah. I noticed you have one on, so we'll talk about that at the end a little bit. But we do got shirts, and we're excited about it. I'm gonna tell y'all how to get one at the end. So let's bring Landon on.
Yep, Landon Hawkins. What's up, man?
What's up?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
You're
doing right.
Yeah, he had it right, didn't he? From Summerall, infielder, right-handed pitcher, and quarterback. Landon, what's going on, man? How's it going right now?
How are y'all? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we're doing good. So I'll start you off with the same question I started those guys off with. We'll talk about football in a minute because I do. We have a little bit of a connection there that I don't know that you even know about. But I want to talk about the end of the baseball season last year. Obviously, just had Cannon on. I know that was tough because you had to listen to it. But tell me, and you couldn't respond. We could see you over there, but you couldn't respond. Tell me, obviously, how that ended, how that felt, and some things that you felt like you guys needed to work on going into the offseason.
Yeah, man. It was tough. I mean, we had it right there. I mean, Purvis was a great team, and not taking away from anything they did, but I mean, giving somebody the game away is kind of. I mean, that's kind of how we felt about it when we worked that hard, and it's just. I mean, it's tough, and this year it's just kind of. I mean, every year we don't change our motto. It's grit because that's how we play at Summerall, and just knowing your role. Coach Davis the other day kind of talked about entitlement and like how we're not entitled to anything, and it's more like Kirby Smart tells people at Georgia that they want people to eat off the floor, and that's kind of the motto that we want to spread. Kind of play with our hair on fire, be mad when we play. So we're ready to be back this year. I know that much.
What did you feel like? Obviously, infielder, right-handed pitcher. What did you feel like in your game that you needed to step up a little bit?
Consistency. I mean, I just think there's stuff. I mean, you can play the top level of travel ball or whatever, but at the end of the day, when it's Purvis somehow there's 2,000 people in the stands, it's got to be the guy who's going to step up, who wants to be in that moment. And so, I mean, a lot of people can say they want the moment, but it's about the guys that truly do want that moment. And I just think I need to be more consistent and kind of know my role as a leader and get us back to trust mark.
So you obviously faced Cannon, but you didn't know Cannon really, do you?
Like I mean, I know Cannon, but I mean, yeah, we know each other.
Okay. So, but you've worked with Chancy and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me, we talked to Cannon and JD a little bit about what it's like to play against friends, former teammates, that kind of thing. Have you had that in your kind of baseball career also, and what was that like?
Yeah, but I mean, it's more like once you get on the field, I don't really think you're friends with anybody. So that's kind of the tough part about it. You'll give them some love after 7 innings, but when we're on the field, it's kind of just want to beat anybody. I mean, it's cool. It's cool getting to see kids that you grew up with, and you want them to do good every game except the one they play you.
So let me tell you, let me tell you,
that
Charlie.
mentality.
Let me tell you, Charlie. So Landon's very, very competitive. So I've known Landon since I've known him longer than I've actually worked with him. He used to come in 59, work with Kyle Logan. I knew his dad, knew his uncle. They all played ball, college ball, and watching him and his brother Parker come in and do lessons. They're very competitive with each other. Even though Landon was older, they're just, oh my gosh. And when I started working with Landon, he's very competitive within himself. So it's the same thing, and we're rolling to the football thing. And to me, that's what helps him be able to be multi-sport. He's just that competitive drive is very, very large. Sometimes too large, where he can't get focused on what he needs to do. But he's definitely matured a lot in the last few years and getting focused. And same thing as the other two. On the recruiting side, getting some looks and doing what he's supposed to be that college athlete.
Tell me, Landon, you do play multiple sports. You play baseball, football. You play anything else? Just those two?
No, just those two.
Okay. Tell me, do you think that one impacts the other in any way? Do you think you learn skills in one that may help you in another, or do you think they're totally separate?
I mean, I would say like more of like character stuff and like, I mean, I think when you're little, like playing multiple sports probably makes you more athletic. But as you get older, I think it's more like stuff that gets taught. Like, I mean, like you get hit in your mouth in football. It's like you got to get back up and go. And it's just like that part of it is toughness and like the difference. Baseball, if you have a bad night, you get to turn around and you might play the next night. You might play in 2 nights, and it's like so if you go 0 for 3, you can go 3 for 3 in 2 nights. Football, you walk out that field, you throw 2 picks. You got to wait a whole another week to kind of come back, and you don't see that team again. So that's kind of the difference. But I mean, I think they both work off each other, just mental toughness and just obviously just want to be a competitor and win.
Yeah, you're right. You kind of have to marinate on that for a whole week, and coaches all over you, and you just got to think about, hey, I really got to do better next week because I don't want to do this again for a whole week, right?
Yes,
that's a good point. A lot of kids and a lot of people don't think about of how that works together, because he's right. Football, you have to deal with adversity a lot different, and deal with failure a lot different. In baseball, you got to have a real short memory, and you gotta go. You got a game the next day, or you got a bat coming up or whatever. In football, like I said, you got a week. You're thinking about it. Watch. Not only that, you got to watch film. You got to watch it over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's the
morning.
thing. That's the thing I was thinking about when we're talking about marinating on it, because in baseball, hey, you play a game, it's a bad game. You play the next day, coach is over it, right? So coach, you play another game. If you play well, coach is good.
Yep.
No, in football, you play bad on Friday night, coach is not happy until next Friday night, and you hear about it all week.
No doubt.
So, Landon, I said we had a little bit of a connection. I actually called one of your games this season. I do radio for Hattiesburg High, and so I watched you play. Don't shake your head. I watched you play against Hattiesburg this year, and I thought you did well. First quarter was a little rough, but you settled in, man. It was all good, brother.
Yeah, that was a D line.
Well, hey, they're studs now. They got a guy that's got offers from everywhere, and they're a bunch of studs. So yeah, they got after you all a little bit. But tell me, in football, obviously y'all had a decent season. Tell me, I kind of forgot where I was going with that, but tell me how you felt like the football season went, and anything that you might have learned from that as a quarterback.
I think it was a disappointing year. I think that was probably the most talented we've been in a while, and we just couldn't ever really put it together. I mean, stat wise, it was a good year, but I mean, you go, I don't know, 4-6 or 5-5 and losing the first round. It's hard to feel that good about it. But I mean, you just like I said, it teaches you to learn from your mistakes more. Like you can't just bounce back like we talked about earlier. Like it's not like you get to go play another 4 quarters again the next night and staying resilient. I mean, because like one bad drive in football, I mean, you turn around and your defense gets a stop, you go out there and you score, then it's just everybody forgets about the bad drive that you just had. So you got to have a short memory in that too. But I thought it was a fun year, but I think we should have done more. But it's over now.
So what about coming up this season? What you think about the team this year?
Oh, I mean, we got our top 2 receivers back and 3 of our linemen back, and the 4th one's in rotation. So I mean, it should be a good year. I'm excited.
Awesome. So, Chancy, I'm gonna let you take it here. What are some hard hitting questions you wanna throw at Landon?
Yeah, so just on the mixing the baseball and football, and of course, I've known you and watched you for a long time, and I'm a Landon Hawkins fan. One reason is that competitive drive. I didn't coach any of his teams coming up. I did get an opportunity to help his dad out some, and then he came and played on one of our 15U one year, and but I've been giving him lessons for at that time around 3 years since he's 12 or so, and like comes in, just works his tail off, but get very frustrated with himself, and we had to work on that, like, hey, you got to stay focused. But I got to see him compete on a baseball field. And one thing about Landon, man, he, and I tell a lot of people this, he's one of those guys you want on the field because of that competitiveness, but he's a baseball player. Like he looks for every advantage possible to beat you. And that rubs off on other players. And, I think that's a value that's, you can't measure, and it's going to be valuable to him as he goes into college ball. But rolling into the football side of it too, I love, I watch, not to hurt anybody's feelings, but I watch Summerall football live to watch Landon Hawkins. I mean, seriously, and he don't know that, but because I think he can be a really good quarterback, and I love watching that competitive drive. So tell me, Landon, on the football side, I know how hard it is because there's so much going on in the fall as far as recruiting and stuff. What, how hard has that been juggling the two?
Man, it is tough. I mean, because obviously you have a day where we work out, and then you have a 3-hour practice, and you get home and you eat something, and it's like, man, I haven't hit in 3 weeks. Or, I mean, maybe not that long. I haven't hit in 3 days, more like, but it's like, that's the kind of things that you got to balance. And it's just, you figure out how bad you want it. Like, if you got to find a way. And so that's kind of the thing is like, you go home and give yourself a little rest, and then I go up and hit or something, and just balancing that way, and having to sneak in a workout on like a Sunday or something like that. Whereas like if I had an off season, it's like you got all the time in the world in your hands. But I mean, I love football, and so it's just a sacrifice you have to make if you want to be, if I truly want to do the baseball thing. Like I got to be ready to go work whenever I get the chance in. So that's how I feel about balancing it.
Well, you hear that a lot. You hear that a lot with college guys and pro guys. They play the multi-sports, and I always, people talk about it and all the time. Like, hey, recruiters talk about, hey, we like multi-sport athletes. It's not just the physical side. It's not just the, the athleticism that it creates. It's that mental, like, you don't have as much time as everybody else. You're different than everybody else. And they want those guys to go on the college campus and feel that same way, even if they're just playing one sport. So they recruit them guys. Both my stepbrothers played all three, and we had Tyler on last week, and he talked about it. But it wasn't just that, he was a 6'5" receiver. Football was easy to him in a sense, and it was fun. Basketball was real easy. He's just 6'5" white boy dunking on everybody, and everybody loved it eventually, they hadn't had anybody like that. So that was fun to him. But then also it was very hard. You know,
Yeah.
and you roll from basketball to,
Okay.
you know, like
We lost your
basketball
audio,
practice.
Chancy.
Yeah,
Lost
you're
audio.
playing.
Oh, Landon's hear me. But got me now?
I lost it. Lost your audio.
Can you hear me, Landon?
So,
I can hear you,
Landon,
Coach.
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, y'all can hear me.
Yes. We lost you. Your new things went out.
Yeah, it was my audio. My
All
bad.
right. Well, I'll finish what I was saying. You get back going. But yeah, just being able to do just the fact that you have to adjust to do it is going to make you a better player. And you know, other athletes out there. That's why I encourage it. And you know, I talked to your dad probably more than you about this. And you know, I definitely think it's going to help you. You know, you're going to play college baseball. We know that, and I'm going to let you talk about that here in a minute. As far as recruiting and opportunities kind of come your way, and what you look forward to going into, because you're 20, yeah, you're 2025, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you're a junior and you've got another year, but this year is a big recruiting year. Um, kind of tell us about you know, what do you have going on, and what do you look forward to future wise recruiting?
I mean, I have I have several JUCO offers, and I mean, I've heard from some D1s. I have one D1 offer, but I mean, I just I'm blessed that they've all given me the opportunity to play, and I mean, I still think I got a while. I mean, this this spring to this summer is kind of when you really figure out who wants you and stuff like that, and so that's kind of the main thing to me. And like I'm looking forward to this year and seeing how it all plays out.
And having those multiple offers, you know, that's got to have a little bit of relief. Maybe not for you because you're so competitive with yourself, but you know, the of a lot of people, there's a relief in like, all right, I'm going to play college baseball, but I think you have a different uh, you know, mentality. You expected to play college baseball. You know, you're the type that you want to be able to push yourself as far as you can go.
Yeah.
And so kind of, you know, talk about, yeah, you know, you got your offers, but um, you know, you can say it if you want to. Is there any direction you want to go? Is there any school that's just in mind that you'd love to play for, or you rather not say, or what's some
I mean,
goals? What's some
it's kind of
goals?
my goal. I want to play baseball as long as I can. So uh, I mean, school wise, I mean, I appreciate all the schools that reached out. I don't want to name drop. I don't know how they
That's
all
fine.
feel about
That's
that.
fine.
And I mean, like I said, I still got this spring and summer, but I'm thankful for everybody that's reached out to me and stuff like that. And I just want to go play where I kind of like we compete. That's kind of my thing is like
Yeah.
kind of dirt bag mentality.
Well,
And
what if you got an offer to play both sports at a school? Would you consider that?
That's what I was going to ask. Are you going to try to play both sports?
I mean, I would consider it. I think it'd be fun. That's kind of one of those things. If the opportunity presented itself, I'd have to weigh my options and kind of see what I have going on, more of that type of thing. But I mean, yeah, that would be awesome. That's what you dream about when you're a little kid.
Well, heck yeah. I've been waiting on you know, one of my former guys that I'm connected to be a John Rice or somebody, because to me, man, yeah, that would be so much fun. And not only, you know, I've got a young kid coming up, Ty Keys, who I think y'all got a taste of as well, from
Yeah.
Popperville. He's a freshman. I mean, he was on my 14U team last year, bro. You know, and you're talking. I think he's up to 8, 9 offers now, and some big boy schools. Well, in football, and I got him this summer, and he jogged something out or done something. And I got his rear end. You know, I've been knowing him. He's Dominique's cousin, so I get on him like he's mine, and I got on his butt. And I said, "Look, all eyes are about to be on you, and look, I want you to play both sports. I want you to be Bo Jackson." You know, to me, with the NIL and everything, and I look at John Rice and all what he's done at Central Florida and at Ole Miss. he's a superstar, bro. You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like any company in America would hire him. You know,
No doubt.
because he's able to do everything. So, you know, of course, you know, I'm just a guy behind the mic tonight, but you know, I definitely encourage and hope and wish and look forward for someone to at least try it. And you know, that's what I always say: just try it until you can't. You know, just do it. Why not? And to me, with
John Rice,
NIL, you're gonna get money.
yeah, and John
No doubt.
Rice, and this is kind of a lesson. He's kind of a lesson to every kid coming up. But John Rice handles himself the right way, and and he, you know, he does the right things, and so that's one of those things where, yeah, being able to play both sports is awesome, but he also handles himself the right way, and he does the things that people like. And yeah, you're right, Chancey. He could have a job anywhere. He could go into any restaurant and get a free meal in Orlando or in Oxford, and it's really amazing because a lot of times when a kid leaves a school and goes to another school, that school that he left turns on him. And Oxford and Ole Miss has not done that, and so it's a testament to that. But yeah, I mean, you, Landon, you know, if you go play both sports, it takes a certain type of person to do that. And Chancey talked about your work ethic and how hard you are on yourself and how much you like to work. And I think in college, at the college level, especially at the major college level, you have to do a lot of work on your own, right? So you got to leave football practice and go to the batting cage, you know, and so there's a lot of work that goes into that. And you think that's something you might could handle?
Yes, sir. I would love to handle it. I mean, like I said, it'd just be one of those things. If the opportunity presented itself, have to see about it, and if it's right, go get it.
Absolutely, man. We're all Landon Hawkins fans, and so Landon, as we wrap up, and I'll let Chancey get whatever he wants to get in at the end too. But like we did with the other guys, tell us about the team this upcoming season, what you expect from your guys, and how they can kind of keep up with you.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, we're expecting a big year. I mean, like I said, I mean, in Summerall, last year is not a good year. It's not a good year unless you win the last game. And so we kind of left it with a bad taste in our mouth, and I think we worked every day at practice like we remember it. I mean, we got some big-time arms. I think everybody knows that, and we can swing it too. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a fun year, and we're ready to go. We got something to prove.
Awesome, man. Again, like I said, we're all Landon Hawkins fans now. And Chancey, you got anything left for Landon?
Yeah, man. So of course, you know, us being right there in Summerall, we get to come. I watched the scrimmage the other day, and you know, I've got a house in Summerall, and I watched a lot of them boys. In fact, that South State Championship, I counted 9 guys that was on the field on both teams that either gave lessons or they played with. So having you know having a front row seat and watching these boys get after it. I mean, at the highest level, and I got to play for a South State championship, but it is way different. You know, it seems like you know, I got a 5-year-old, and I get proud of him when, you know, he hits a ball in the 6 hole and beats it out in you know, in 6U rec ball, and you know, and that's a super proud dad moment. But there's a very similar same feeling when you guys do well, and you know, I did see you turn 89 around the other day at the scrimmage. I was sitting behind you there. I was proud of you because a few years ago, those hands wouldn't allow you to do that, and you've worked on that. So, you know, I know the work you put in, and just love seeing the success, man. And so, you know, keep getting after it, keep competing to be a leader. You know, this year, and you definitely deserve that role. And I think y'all gonna have a great year. Man, do you know? And I don't think you. I think you you do that easily anyway. So just keep doing it, brother.
Yes, sir.
Landon, we appreciate you, man. We'll have you on again, and everybody will be watching Summerall baseball this year, especially when y'all take on those Tornadoes.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
Right,
Thanks for having me on.
See you, bud.
Thanks, bud.
See y'all.
So, Chancey, that was fun, man. We had had some great guys on, some great conversation, and what are your kind of thoughts of those guys and their season coming up?
Yeah, man. It's when I was I'm trying to figure out a little itinerary, a plan with our podcast here, man. And it's ticking up. We've had more viewers tonight than we've ever had.
Had a lot of folks on tonight.
Yeah, yeah. And so on Instagram stayed around 15 to 20, and some comments coming up. I forgot to say when Landon was on, his boy ST posted a broom in the comment, so meaning they're going to sweep Purvis is what he was saying. He's the catcher for Summerall, but
Doc Allison said she was proud of her guys. I was going through some of these. Not to cut you off, but she said she's proud of her guys, and I saw
she got to watch them when they was babies, too. Yeah. She was right there in the front row seat like me, and that's cool for her too. She was like a mama figure to them too, and always keeping them straight, and so man, it's being able to do that. I wanted a good variety, and I'm lucky enough to be able to be around some kids that we was able to do that. Some local good programs. All three programs are well coached and good examples for our youth. You probably hear me and in our meetings and stuff tell the kids to go watch high school games, man, and don't just run around and play tag or whatever. Sit down and watch your position. Watch what these guys do. They were in your shoes. For me, it seems like yesterday. It's old folks, but I mean, literally, time flies, and they're grown men. I mean, it's just crazy. That's the cool part for me.
It happened.
Oh, no doubt. And so, we're going to keep doing this. So, kind of my game plan is, even though we brought on Tyler, he talked about spring training. We are going to do another pro session before they actually go to spring training. I've got some pro guys lined up, but before that, I'm going to get some Southern Miss and some William Carey guys, our local colleges, and maybe a Jones guy to kind of get the JUCO aspect. Next week, I'll be announcing the lineup for that. So, I kind of want to. We're on this trend, and it's worked, and that was a really good one. My boys done well. I know some of them was a little nervous, but
they did do really well.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is good for them. They better get used to it with all the media they have to deal with these days. So, this is a cool way. I'm able to get the guys I personally, have a connection with and bring them on here.
Yeah, and I know that I do want to say, obviously, we are on YouTube, Bull Baseball YouTube. We're on Instagram, Bull Baseball's Instagram page. We are on my Facebook page. We're also on Facebook. Finally let me go live on the Small Ball Podcast Facebook page.
I saw that.
So we're on there. And then I've also got us now, if you prefer the audio version, I've got us on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, all of those as well.
Is it on the iTunes podcast?
It is.
Okay, so I can. That's where I get mine. I wanted to make sure. That's awesome. Yep. I'll have to check it out, and I'll be sharing it out. I try to, in between having a post for the Bulls and Defenders Academy, another thing. So I'll try to keep it up. But
I know you wanted to talk about about this stuff too.
Yes. So did get our T-shirts in. It's pretty much our logo that you've seen on a black shirt. I do have some available. I will post on probably Facebook. If you're on any platform, just shoot me or Charlie a message, and we'll get your email and I'll mail it out if I have to if you're far away. But we'll get you one for sure. We're not going to get a merch store yet. We're not there yet, but we do like getting them out, and we'll get these guys that come on here. We'll get them a cool shirt. It's a dry fish shirt, so they can go and hit in it, and folks ask, "Hey, what's that?" It's a podcast.
Yeah,
I got to go on. Kind of feel famous. That's what I wanted them to feel. But also, so our first official sponsor, Mike Caldwell and Super Saver Liquor and Wine there on 4th Street. You blow him up right there while we got him. So what we're going to do, just kind of slow rolling into getting sponsors. We're going to do a monthly deal. So reach out if you'd like to be a sponsor. We mention you on our page. We share you on our Facebook. You'll get a lot of coverage. We'll talk about, if Mike wants me to have to do a sample or something, I might do that. Whatever, you know. No, but go check them out. Definitely, like I think you mentioned earlier, Southern Miss games coming up. Mike is a big Southern Miss supporter, so go get your supplies you need. He's always got great deals going on. Our team done a Super Saver, pretty much Super Bowl square coming up with some big time bottles on there, and
hard to get stuff.
Yeah, hard to get stuff, and so that's super cool. We love Mike. Supporting. I know he's watching. He loves this kind of stuff, and so if you're interested, we'd love to get more. Kind of help us, get me out of game headphones. And Charlie's went dead over there, but
they did. I don't know what
we'll get better and better, But we're just kind of throwing this thing together, man, and getting some folks watching and talking. And I think it's just it's going to be good for the guys we bring on, especially these young guys, and get folks talking about it and crap. Our youth start next weekend, our travel ball guys, and so we're going to prepare for that. We're going to kind of give you the tournaments that are going on. I want to get some of the tournament directors on here also, but our next 2 weeks we're gonna go college baseball because they're launching their season, and then we'll talk to a couple pro guys going into spring training, and hear from them and let them talk about their youth and now getting to go play pro ball, because it's always a very exciting and nervous feeling going off to spring training. And so I love that to get out of a few guys. I've already talked to a few of them, and I'm gonna probably get two or three and do kind of what we did today, and then go from there.
Chancy, I've been communicating with. I'll have to tell you off air, but I've been communicating with a very special guest. We may have to do an extra episode or a special episode or something, but I think it's something people will be really excited about. And turns out he's interested, but I just got to make it work with his schedule. But that'll be fun too. And man, it's fun. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we'll work the glitches out and stuff. But man, it was a lot of fun. I know the kids had a blast, and we do appreciate Mike for taking care of us. Mike supports anything and everything local. Mike Caldwell, he's a great guy, and he's taken care of me for years, and so he just personally. So man, we appreciate him. Appreciate Super Saver for sponsoring. And, man, any final thoughts before we go?
Man, any high school guys out there listening, good luck. You got your jamborees coming up this week. There's a lot of you out there that I've coached over the years, and I promise you, I'm watching. It's kind of like an addiction of mine. My phone has to stay in a charger 24/7 during baseball season because of Game Changer. And I'm going down the road and there's a college playing at 2:00. I pull it up. There's so much stuff going on because I can't help not watch them. I mean, it's a crazy thing that I do, and yeah, it's a sickness, but it's just a proudness, man. I'm super proud, and I root for all of them, regardless how long I've worked with them. If I touched them, I feel like they're a part of me somehow. So just know I'm watching, and if I miss it, I'm going back and checking your stats and rooting for it, and go and have fun, because these years don't last long, man. Some of the best years of my life, and that I refer back to them now as a coach. Our daggum signs is the same thing as our high school signs when I played, and it's just it's ingrained in me, and so it's a special time. So just boys, go out there and get after it. Girls too. I train a lot of junior high and high school softball girls, and they're kicking off as well. And we're gonna talk about some softball here too. So good luck to them, and we'll see y'all next week.
Absolutely. This is a Small Ball Podcast. I'm Charlie Rogers. He's Chancy Rogers, brought to you by Super Saver Liquor and Wine. Be on the lookout for next week's episode. And until then, thank you. Good night.